Okay, so I think, if I recall, this will be the last time you'll be in this hub. So if you want to, if you leave now, if you try to leave now, you can't do the haystack games. I think this is at least the last time you'll be here for a while, if not permanently. So if you want to get anything else from these enemies out here, or if you want to do that haystack game and grind for some items and do some more crafting, you can do it now. Not, it's up to you. I don't think there's too much stuff you even need, unless you just wanted more like equipment, maybe. Oh yeah, so the only trophy I'm missing to get the dual platinum, I think, is defeating Wise. For which he only shows up as a simulation fight on exclusively hard mode. And he's so hard. Oh my god, I watched so many different videos of people beating him, and you're primarily playing as Tifa for it, and it turns it into like almost a pure action game, and you're trying to like do hardcore like pressure damage on his like pressure gauge. And like I've gotten close sometimes. I've gotten to within like his last third of health, and just he pulls out an ultimate move and kills the whole team. And it's like it's one of those like boss fights where it's like, no, you can't mess anything up. Yeah. You have to be perfect this whole time while you're fighting the boss. And I kind of hate that, but you know. Oh, you learned Sleep Trick. New move.
Heck yeah.
Now you're level 4. I didn't even know you had to level 3 at all. I'm too busy running my mouth about Japanese video games, man.
There's nothing wrong with that, sir.
No, I do. I know some people have their own personal beefs with FF7. I understand why. Because it is a very beloved game. Pack, make one bag go to sleep. Oh, Stench Poot. Forgot about that. Oh, Stench Poot. Jesus. Wrong hole. Excuse me. Like I've talked to people that are like so just anti, like they're like, yeah, play is good, but I hate the story, blah blah. And I understand a lot of people don't like the direction of how FF7 remake are going. I still can't wait to play Crisis Core. Gotta buy that. Also gotta buy what was it? Gungrave Gore. So I have the other 2 Gungrave games, and I want to play that little trilogy. Record that. Like I said, personally, like I don't have the biggest attachment to FF7 like other people do, because I did not play it. Like I was not there when it launched, right? Like I wasn't like I don't have that hardcore nostalgia of like it probably being one of my first JRPGs, and I don't have that attachment for it being the first 3D JRPG. You know, like but I've always been the type of person, like I don't judge it based on its age or antiquity. Like I'm the kind of person that for the most part, as long as the game is still reasonably playable, even if it's dated, I can still appreciate it for what it is. You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm not gonna sit there and be like, it's like, Mom, but this old first-person game doesn't play just like Doom Eternal. And it's like, bro, they're decades apart. You know what I mean? Like, I can appreciate this for the time capsule that it's in.
Yes.
And I played Final Fantasy VII like at least 3 or 4 different times. I beat it once, probably like a month or 2 before I even started FF7 Remake, just to like re-experience the whole story, since like I kind of had a gut feeling like, oh, they're probably gonna change some stuff. So I at least want to be refreshed on what this is and be able to compare it to what might be changed. And of course, the first thing I noticed was the time ghosts. Like, the fuck are these? I was like, these weren't in the original story, were they? Without getting too much into spoilers, they're, you know, for anybody who hasn't played FF7 Remake, there's significant changes. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's less about people being attached to something, because obviously, like, I can be pretty critical of things I enjoy being remade or adapted into a new medium altogether. Like, I don't enjoy the Netflix adaptation of Cowboy Bebop. I don't think it's good at all. I don't think it carries any faithfulness or respect to the original series. Like that is like watching it. It felt like an entire series of here's this very popular, successful thing that has stood the test of time. We're gonna ride its coattails. Oh, so he's looking for Ape Boy, for Gory. Left side. And spot that motherfucker a mile away. And it's like, because I don't want to be the guy that says like, no, you can't have your own interpretation of a story. But I feel like there's different types of people. There's someone that's like, hey, there's a different perspective we can take, or a different lens we can look at this story through, and find something more meaningful to the original thing by looking at a new way. And that stuff I do find interesting. But then there's some stuff that comes off as like, oh, this is just your fan fiction. Yeah. You just wanted to make you've thought about this weird stuff ever since you first watched or read this thing, and you just want to make your own thing, and you want to use the success of this IP that's been around forever and stood the test of time as your own personal way of doing so. Oh, that's a fucking gimme. That was so easy.
I totally agree with that. It's like you play the Super Mario Brothers, and then they made a movie about it, which to me the movie was good.
Yeah, I actually like that original Super Mario Brothers movie. I like the world building especially. It's very. I'm pretty sure
a lot of people hated it.
Yeah,
because just because. And then you've got.
See, I always saw the original SMB movie as like just people looking at it and being like, it's like, hey, these games, just from the look of it, don't really give us a lot to go off of. So let's just get weird with it,
Yeah. That's like He-Man, Masters of the Universe. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They made that comic into a movie that was very successful.
Movie is still really good. I still love that first movie. A lot of it holds up. There's still some weird comedic stuff in there to try to appeal kids to it. I want to say it's the right one because I think he's looking for less, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I still say that first one holds up. There's still some weird, like, the studio's like, we need to put some more fun stuff in for the kids. Because I think it's right around the time the cartoon was out as well. Yes. So you had people coming in as either comic book fans of the very gritty, tongue-in-cheek comic book, or you had people coming in as kids that knew the cartoon. And so they're trying to piece to both. And apparently the movie is supposed to be way, way darker.
Yes.
But like, it's weird. I feel like it's a case by case basis. Like, I'm willing to give anything a chance, but there's some stuff where when you see the people working on it, the way they talk about it, the way they hint, it's like whether or not they actually do have respect for the source material, or they see their remake or adaptation as a way to get a step up, partially off of the success of someone else, and their hard work. And I'm always been the type of person, like, I'm sorry, if your adaptation is not as good or attempting to be better than the original, then get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like, why are you wasting everybody's time? Like why would I watch your thing when whatever you're pulling from is just the superior version?
Yeah.
So let's see if I can pull up the crafting guide. See if there's anything you need. Well, if you want a quick spear. Okay, no, you have dried skins?
Yes.
Okay, so you can get wild heart armor, so you can make a stone knife with the bone and the heart of rock, and then when you get a stone knife, I think you can skip this portion too, when he's making stuff. Yeah, that makes it go by. So yeah, take the stone knife and add it to the dried skins, and you should get wild heart armor. And then I think if you make another stone knife and then add that to hard stone, you get
the dried skin and the stone knife.
Yeah. And if you make another stone knife and then combine that with hard rock? No, hard stone. Yeah, so you got wild heart armor. You make another stone knife and then add it to hard stone, you get a fertility charm. And I think you should be good for a while.
Make another.
Yeah, so that with a hard rock, and then combine that with a hard rock, and then you can equip those, and you should be Gucci for for a while. But like with FF7 remake, like I understand if people aren't happy with how it turned out. I'm kind of fine with it because that's essentially what most of FF7, the compilation, has been at this point with Advent Children, Crisis Core, Before Crisis, Dirge of Cerberus is expanding on it and just doing more than what just FF7 was. And a lot of this falls on, I want to say, Tetsuya Nomura, who worked on the original one as a character designer.
He said that there was so much more he wanted to do with that game, but couldn't because it was already 3 discs.
Yeah.
All right, what was I doing?
I think just the Hard Rock and the Stone Knife. You should get a Fertility Charm, I think. But like the issue is like I would say remake. I would say overall still faithful to just how FF7 is, and a lot of people complain about like it's like, oh, it's too long. It's just 50 hours and you're in Midgar, and I'm like, no, I love that though. Midgar I think is the best part of FF7. Like there's so much character and aesthetic, and it's like, and the thing is you don't see anything of the overworld while in Midgar. So like my first time playing it, I just assumed that was it. Like I assumed everything looks like Midgar. Yeah. This like high future city. Make sure you equip that stuff. And then you leave and it's like, oh, now it's just a FF7 game. I mean, now it's just a Final Fantasy game. You're going around to fantasy towns and blah, blah. Awesome. Sick, dude. Now they do have some cool locations like the Golden Saucer, stuff like that. They're still fun and unique, but it's like overall just still now, can you equip anything on the gauntlet? Or yeah, you can still the Beast Fang and Fertility Charm on.
Alright, so physical attack.
You can equip both of them on the accessory
but
slot.
my speed goes down, so I'm not worried about.
But I think it allows you to small holy for prey and HP. So you're losing a little bit of speed, but now you have the ability to you have multiple Beast Fangs, so you can just keep stacking those. And then you can throw that on for the ability to heal at the cost of 2 speed. So that's... Or no, your speed goes down to 2. Fuck. Yeah, remove that. You might be able to give it to... Oh yeah, you make it to give it to What's-Her-Face later. Because her best thing is to just stick her in the corner and let her be a healer. That's what it is. But like I've talked to people who like... I've also talked to people that like don't remember FF7 all that well. Like I remember some people like, oh, Midgar is only like 4 or 5 hours. What are you talking about, bro? That area is 8 hours. It is 8 solid hours, and it's really good pacing.
And that's the quick version.
Oh well, I mean you can go quicker because on the PS4 version I have the sticks. So there's if you click one or the other or both at the same time, it gives different essentially cheat codes. So there's one that makes it fast forward. Can you save freely? Press the menu thing. Oh, you're about to go to a boss fight, so I was gonna see if you could save. Shit. Yeah, so press the menu button. I think you should be able to free save. Yeah, so I think you go to settings and you can save. Yeah. So yeah, with those cheats, I think you can scroll down. There's more. Yeah, save data.
Go 7.
Yeah.
So that's what we're
FF7.
talking about. Is that what we're talking about here?
Fuck, what was I talking about? FF7. Oh yeah. So if you click one stick, you can essentially make the game fast forward, and then if you click the other one, I think it gives you like full limit break, and then I think the other one is like you can't get hurt or something. Anyways, so like I've talked to some people and I'm like, wait, which version did you play recently? They're like, oh, I played PS3 or PS4. And I'm like, did you have the speed stuff on? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. No wonder you think it's 4 or 5 hours because you were going so fast. You were zipping through because like I mean if you play it originally just the way it is, it's very slow. But at the same time, what I hate though is when you because I played a little bit with the speed up thing on, and that's almost too fast. Yes. So like you have a character that's either like or it's like and it's like no, like can we tone this down a little bit?
I mean, when I first bought the game, I didn't go to bed that night.
Oh yeah,
my parents didn't even realize that I was still home the next day. I stayed up and played until I beat the game, which was 26 hours.
Ooh.
And when I finally came out of the bedroom to get something to eat, they were like, "Why didn't you go to school today?" Forgot.
F you, Mom. I'm out here saving the world. I'm saving the live stream.
Right. But then, I slept for a couple days after that.
Where you just zonk out.
Yeah. Went back into the game and then beat it in its entirety. And that's what I really wanted to do, was to beat it in its entirety. And it was just an amazing game. Getting Knights of the Round was...
Oh, man. I hate the fact they're not putting Knights of the Round in the remake.
Yes. I mean, yes, it was broken, especially when you leveled it up all the way and got the second one, and then leveled that up all the way and got the third one, and leveled that up enough to fight Genova at the end of the game and hit her in 3 times and it was done.
Oh, yeah. That and not base Behemoth, but it's like... What's that special version of Behemoth?
There is Neo Behemoth, Behemoth Zero, and
I think it's Zero.
Just Behemoth.
Yeah, I think Zero is the best one, I think. Like, just that Knights the Round. Because you can just use multiple summons because the game doesn't stop you and you just power bomb everything. But, like, I also talk to people and it's like... There's some people that can't separate all of the memories they've made over time with something. So I've talked to people where they did play FF7 when they were younger and then played it when they got older. And it's... A lot of people give themselves and their kid brain a lot more credit than it deserves. Because I'll be the first one to admit, I was dumb as a kid. Like, I understood basic plots of things when I was a kid. But when it came to, like, nuance and themes and stuff like that, I did miss a lot of that. Because it's very subtle and it's... That's not stuff that kids are going to pick up on. And that's the one thing I hate when people are like, oh, you need to give kids more credit. And I'm not saying kids are completely dumb. I'm just saying for every one kid that might pick up, oh yeah, here's the hot pretty boy caveman who's trying to stop you. For every one kid that might actually get all the subtleties and subtext and nuance and everything of a medium that's trying to say something more than it's saying on its surface level.
Yeah.
There's 9 other kids that are like, I like this anime game, because that's just how kids are. And that's not a bad thing. But I've met people that are like, it's like, I hate it because this thing is super significant to my life and my childhood, and they're ruining FF7, and like, this has always been a big thing. And they're talking about how like, they love all the you're fine. All the discussion of like eco-terrorism and like, PTSD and all this thematic stuff. And I'm like, and I was like, oh, well, I'm glad you played that recently and picked up on it. And they're like, no, I've always known it was there. I'm like, since when? And they're like, they're like, ever since I played when I was 8. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. There's no way. Bro, when you were 8, you didn't even know you never even heard the word PTSD.
Yeah. Or
eco-terrorism. I mean, maybe the game told you, but it's like, you didn't know about any of this shit. You might be able to do, does Poopto hurt many bad? I'd probably just do that, fuck it. Or scary face. Nah, yeah. I like.
Oh, I missed one.
Nah, it's fine. You got some pretty big damage on that guy. Plus, there should be poison damage. I'm like, yeah, dude. Bam, bam, bam. Kick one back. I'd probably go. I would go with the kick since it's medium damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good damage. Boom! Get fucked. F-U-K-T, fucked. But like, yeah, I'm talking to this guy. He's like, no, I always knew about it. I'm like, no, the fuck you didn't. I was like, you played FF7 when you were a kid, and you're like, wow, this is really cool. I like this spiky haired dude with his giant sword that's bigger than him, and he's swinging around, and he's fighting this long white haired dude. I like this game. It's cool.
With a super long katana.
Yeah, and then you thought that was really cool, and then you went back. And because the game held up, you played it when you got older, and because you were older and you have a better understanding of things, of the world and all this other shit, you went, oh, hey, there's a lot more to this than I was aware of, right? And then, but somewhere along the line, your kid brain memories and your older, like young adult brain memories started fusing together, and now you have this like super like boosted nostalgic version of your head of what's in your head of a game that like it's just you did not know the game what it was in its entirety when you first played it, and they're like, no, I always knew. It's just like, no, bro, you're trying to say you're built different. You're not built different. Okay, like there's no way you're gonna sit there and tell me you watched Les Mis as a 6-year-old and you knew all the fucking antiquities involved of I don't know if I even use the word right in that instance, but like of all the harshness and why there was even a revolution. You know, you're like, oh, people are singing and it's nice, you know. And that's the one thing I hate is when people conflate their understanding of something or their actual comprehension of something because of either, I don't know. I mean, that's not as bad as people that like will watch something and not get it, or like read what they'll experience something and not understand it, and then they'll see someone else's explanation of it and they're like, oh, I get it now, and then like pretend they like knew it was up the whole time too. Like, oh god, I hate those pretentious.
So they don't think that, or so they don't let people think that they are human, and that's what we all are. We have our own faults in every aspect.
Yeah. I think it also stems from like, I think nowadays we just live in an age where everybody thinks they need to have an opinion on something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you don't need an opinion on everything. You know? Like, it's okay if it's okay if you don't know anything about something, or it's okay if you don't understand something in its entirety, or it's okay if you don't think much about something after you experience it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, like, and I hate that for some people. They think they have to have some nuanced take about something or nuanced opinion, and it's just like, bro, if you didn't like the movie, you didn't like the movie. You don't have to sit there and watch like 5 different movie reviews about someone saying why they didn't like or why they thought it was bad and going, actually, and then you're parroting their thing because you're afraid of looking stupid just by saying you don't think the thing is good. Like, just say you don't like it. Like, I don't justify my shit. Now, if someone wants to have a discussion with me about why I don't enjoy something, sure, I'll have that discussion, but like, I don't need to justify my thoughts about shit. Like, I don't know. It doesn't help. There's plenty of pretentious people out there. They're like, I'm an artist. I want to make video games myself. But God, there's too many people that write about video games thinking like they're hot shit and that they're like fucking experts and shit like that. It's so annoying to me. Like, there's one guy that I'm aware of that I'm not a fan of his writing. Now, he does have some opinions that I think are decent, or at least well explained and reasoned on his behalf, but he does a lot of this thing where he's just like, well, as an expert, I think this thing is bad and it doesn't deserve as much respect as it gets over the years. Or he thinks, hey, this thing is actually really good, and if you don't like it, well, then you're not smart enough to understand why it's good.
Yeah.
And then if you try to argue with him, he's just like, well, I'm the expert, you're not. He's like, I'm basing my stuff on truth and an observation of as an expert, and you're basing yours on someone who's a hobbyist and your feelings. So you need to learn as much as I have about video games before you can give your opinion. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up. No, stop it. Also, you whooped his ass pretty good. Mm-hmm. If you haven't leveled up reasonably, he can be a little bit of a roadblock in the beginning.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how people perceive themselves. Like, for instance, they say that Shakespeare wasn't really Shakespeare because he had no schooling.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have no schooling to be a brewer, but I can brew beer. I have a little bit of background in music, but I'm not an artist, you know.
Yeah. I mean, in all reality, all those papers and certificates mean is just, it's just a physical confirmation that you put hours into learning something.
Yes.
And especially now in the age of information, where I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of misinformation online. But when it comes to actual, like, fields of study and everything, like right now I'm in school for game design and game art and stuff like that, but I don't need to be. Like, if I want, I could learn just as much useful stuff just going on YouTube and just looking at tutorials and following along and learning coding independently. Like, there's just so much stuff.
Yep.
You know? And I don't know, it's just, my biggest thing is that I just don't like people that, like, when their opinion is confronted, especially about something as subjective as just like the artistic medium as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Like, just let people disagree with your opinion, okay? Just, if people don't agree with you, fine, move the fuck on. If you think you're right, then think you're right, you know? So now you got thrown out of the village. They're like, hey, get fucked. You're causing trouble. You brought trouble to our door. Get out of here. But sir, we stopped them. Yeah. So remember, since there's no dedicated save point, I think in the game, I don't think any part of the game has a dedicated save point. But just make sure to save often when you can. I don't know if they're as forgiving as South Park is, where if you lose the fight, they just let you restart the fight. Ooh, you're fighting a bull and a cow. But it's like, when you get pushback on your opinion, you're just going, no, you guys are dumb. You guys don't get it. I'm the only one that gets it. And it's like, if you guys even want to talk to me, you need to be an expert. You need to be this. And it's just like, all your opinion, all your arguments are just based on feeling. Mine are based on truths and observations. It's just like, who the fuck are you? That is the most biased bullshit you can say.
Yep.
Is that, no, you can't disagree with me because I know I'm right and I know you're wrong. The only way I'm even going to bother talking to you is if you're on what I determine to be an expert level, because I'm the expert. It's like, shut up, dude. This isn't medicine or fucking STEM. You know, this is just talking about fucking video games, dude.
Yeah.
And now I'm the type of person that thinks there is some objectivity to be found in a subjective medium, such as art and all of its sub-mediums. But that's more, that I would say that comes more with how things are on a technical level or execution-wise more than the subject matter. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to say anything objective about a movie, it will be how it's like paced or how it's edited, like the technical side of things. Like, hey, I think the story of this movie was good, but its editing kind of shot itself in the foot because sometimes it's hard to follow along with stuff or to tell what's happening, or how scenes are actually supposed to be transitioning and how I'm supposed to be absorbing this information, right? I would say that could be a objective observation on how the film is executed. But once you get in the details of like, oh, I think the character development of so-and-so was good or bad, or I think the story arc was, you know, it had a well-executed exposition, but the ending, you know, was kind of lackluster. Like, that's when you get into the subjective side of things. That's more like, is it to your taste? Is it not? You know, but it's just, I don't know. I guess I just hate uppity people. I hate pretentiousness, and I hate people that just want to like shout their opinions from the rooftop, and I guess have people like circle jerk them or something. I don't know. Yeah. Like, stroke their ego. You know, it's just like, no, get that somewhere else. Get that out of my face. You know. And it's always stupid too when it's like someone trying to analyze a classic, you know, like a classic game or something, and they're needlessly being harsh to be that guy, you know, like they're gonna be the one. And like I said, like obviously, like some games, like I said, FF7 become a sacred cow where people are like I said, some of the reception how FF7 remake is compared to FF7 originally. A lot of people like I've talked to some people that just wish that if FF7 remake, the way it stands now, was going to be the only direction for it, they would rather just not been made.
Yeah.
Because it's not exactly like FF7. Because that thing is so precious to some people. It's like, no, if it's not exactly like the thing I want, then I don't want it at all. You know? And like... And
I was that way at first. Until, you know, I read that there was so much more that he wanted to put in the original game that he... You know, and then I was perfectly fine with whatever he did after that.
And I also hate to be the person that goes, hey, if you care, the original FF7 is just, you know, whatever. So I think if you go through here and then go back after this, you'll have access to the secret boss, but you like really need to be leveled up a lot more. Which I don't know if you feel like grinding for a while. I mean, grind is just keep talking stuff about stuff.
Yeah.
So yes, by now we know, hey, this is the tribe. They're looking for, I forget her name. I don't even know if the game's told us her name yet. Baru? I think it's Baru. Looking for Baru. Oh, look, a false wall. I think you have another boss fight coming up with that guy. Maybe. I can't remember if you turn back now, you can run into the secret boss, or if you have a boss fight here. Like once I guess you finish this section, and go back out, you'll have access to it. But yeah, I think that back spot at night is when the secret boss comes out. Can you guess what it might be?
With the boss fight?
Yeah, the secret boss. If you had to guess what it was, what would you guess?
A fart cloud.
No, but I wish.
That sounded wet.
It did. And it's going over. Oh, shit. He's just like, oops.
Anybody that can hear my dogs losing their minds in the background, I'm sorry. I don't know if it's picking up right now. They're just losing their shit for no reason. Because they're wild animals. No, it's a giant woolly mammoth that hits like a fucking garbage truck. Oh my god.
Oh, that.
They do some pretty
Like
big
one at the
damage.
beginning of the game.
Yeah, but it's like hard. It's got like frost moves or whatever. It deals a lot of AoE stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll need to pull up a boss guide for you or not, like for the fight, because it's. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a DPS race or not, but it's definitely one of those you want to try to just hit it as hard and fast as possible, while also just maintaining, you know, health and stuff like that, character health, doing heals. But like I said, the reward is worth it.
So what would be the ideal level for the first secret boss?
I want to say it's 16. I think that's the level I was at. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, 'cause I would have just went right there after.
I don't know what level you are right now.
And relied on my skill and knowingness of RPGs to fail multiple times. Yeah, it'll be after this boss fight.
Okay, so this is the Zaki rematch. So yeah, okay, she's kidnapped. Now you gotta fight this guy. Good old rematch.